What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Tuesday, May 6th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate and both NBA playoff games. I'll give you my dog of the day and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think is the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally respond to every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there were any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Monday, not up to the hottest start necessarily, but maybe we won't end up with a disaster. Now, right now we've got one game that was rained out, that Cleveland-Washington game that's rained out. It's going to end up being played there on Tuesday as part of a doubleheader. We've got the under still there in that Seattle Athletics game, but yeah, that's not looking super hot right now. It's tied up at 4 apiece in the 5th inning, so that's probably going to be a loss. Now, we've got the Nuggets plus 9.5. They're hanging tough there with the Thunder. We've got Westbrook over 4.5 rebounds. That one's still live. Now, in terms of the dog of the day, unfortunately, we picked the wrong one. We were torn between taking the Reds at plus 125 or the Padres at plus 125. Well, the Reds almost got no hit, and the Padres came away with the win. So that's a loss for us, but we did cash our massive lock of the day, which was the LA Dodgers, originally at minus 166, but after a pitching change, ended up being minus 220, and they were a even bigger lock at minus 220. They end up winning that game 7-4. They jumped out to a big lead, gave a little bit back, but we cashed that one in the end. So let's go ahead and hop into our first game of this pretty interesting Tuesday slate, and no shocker here, guys, is going to be those Dodgers going up against the Miami Marlins. Coming off that 7-4 win there in game 1 of this series. Now, some bad news there for the Dodgers. They are 24-11 on the year, so that's great, but unfortunately, seeing Hernandez going down, going to get an MRI on that hamstring, that's not a great look. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Tony Gonsolin. He comes into this one 1-0, a 4.50 ERA. Now, his first start of the season was against the Marlins. It was back on the 30th, and he was fine, I guess. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. He struck out 9 and walked 0, and it was a 12-7 win there for the Dodgers, but not exactly a dominant performance. So we'll see what he can do out there. Obviously, we're not worried about that Dodgers bullpen too much. They've been very good over the course of the year. A top 8 to 10 bullpen in the majors seems very reasonable for that group. Now, the offense, they've been cruising. Obviously, missing their leading batting average, home run, and RBI guy could be an issue. But when you've got Ohtani and Freeman both clearly swinging the bats well, I think they could be okay. So we'll see what they do. They've scored 7, 3, 10, 2, 12, and 15 runs over the last few games. So not an offense that I'm worried about. They're the 3rd highest scoring offense in the majors. Now, the Marlins come into this game fresh off another loss. They're having a bad time. They're 13-21 this year. Hitting the ball in this game to Cal Quantrill is 2-3 on the year, an 8.10 ERA. Now, his last start was against the Dodgers, and it did not go great. He was on the wrong side of that 12-7 game. He went 3 2/3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and a home run. Not dominant stuff, and we haven't seen him have a good start since all the way back on the 5th of last month, where he had a good start there at the then slumping Atlanta Braves. So not super high on him, also not super high on that Miami bullpen. I wouldn't say they're as bad as last year, at least not yet, but a 4.82 bullpen ERA definitely has them trending in that direction. And the offense has done some positive things this year. They're technically still 16th in the majors in runs scored, but they've scored 4, 2, 9, 1, and 7 runs over their last few games. They're 18th in slugging percentage and 18th in on-base percentage, and just not an offense that really gets me too excited. So not shocked to see the Marlins as big underdogs here, despite the fact they're at home. They're plus 220. The Dodgers are minus 278. We've got a total of 9.5. The Dodgers are 7-8 on the road, 20-15 to the over. Miami 9-11 at home, 23-11 to the over. That's an MLB best mark to the over. Now, do we want to load up here on the Dodgers again as the lock of the day at minus 278? That's the only way that play is going in the pinned comment. Obviously, I would say it has an outside chance. I do like the history between these two pitchers. Obviously, Quantrill not looking good against the Dodgers, so we'll keep this one in mind, but probably, we'll see. We'll just see if this one ends up being our lock of the day. Next on the slate, guys, within the Texas Rangers going to Fenway to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Rangers come into this game fresh off of a win there against the Mariners, winning 8-1 in the final game of that series, but obviously losing 2 out of 3 and sitting at 17-18 on the year. Not what they had in mind. They're hitting the ball in this game to Nathan Eovaldi, who's 2-2 this season, a 2.11 ERA. His last time out, a very nice start there against the Athletics. 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 earned run allowed, struck out 8, walked 0, but he got exactly 1 run of support in a game we eventually saw the Athletics win 7-1. So he's been pitching really well, just hasn't been getting too much help. He hasn't given up any more than 3 earned runs over any of his last 5 starts, and he's faced the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Giants over that span. So yeah, he's faced some tough teams and has come out looking very, very good. So we're expecting good stuff from him in this one, expecting solid stuff from the Rangers. Bullpen is a mistake, though, guys. They have not been reliable this year, and I don't know, guys. I don't know what we're going to see. They need some help here. They especially need help at the plate. We'll see if bringing in Brett Boone as their new hitting coach will help. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I'm not exactly expecting it to light the world on fire, but they couldn't get much worse, guys. They're second to last in runs scored and 25th in the majors in batting average. So they're pretty freaking bad at the plate. We'll see if they can do anything positive here against the Boston Red Sox, who are 500 on the season now, 18-18. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Twins. They're hitting the ball in this one to Lucas Giolito, who is yet to figure in a result. He's sporting a 4.50 ERA, and this is only his second start of the year. His first start was a 7-6 extra inning loss there against Toronto, but he went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and 3 earned runs. The problem is he gave up a couple of home runs in that game, so that's not exactly the best look there. The Red Sox bullpen has not really gotten them out of too much trouble this season either. They've been pretty bad, a 4.22 bullpen ERA. Certainly not great. The offense was supposed to be the huge strength for this team. That also hasn't really came to fruition, guys. I mean, they scored 4, 3, 6, 2, and 6 runs over their last few games. Sure, they're still tied for 4th in the majors in runs scored, but yeah, I don't know, guys. This team just really doesn't feel super reliable to me. Like, they're either going to go out there and put up like 10 or going to go out there and put up like 3. So we'll see what they do in this one. The numbers for this game, the Rangers are minus 120. The Red Sox are plus 100. We've got a total of 9. The Rangers 5-10 on the road, 24-11 to the under. That's an MLB best mark to the under. Boston 9-8 at home, and they're a 500 over-under team. I think under 9 is certainly live in this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of offense because the Rangers suck at the plate. The Red Sox suck at the plate right now, and Eovaldi's a great starter. So I think the under 9 is very, very live in this game. If you're begging me for a side, I'm going to lean here just slightly towards those Texas Rangers with Eovaldi on the mound, but not a pick that's going in the pinned comment. Before we get too deep into this video, guys, I just want to shout out our sponsor, StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball is off to an insane start to the year. We've been hitting some basketball plays. A lot of good stuff happening. NHL has been going really well also, so it is a great, great time to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com. Consider signing up for a premium package, but also just go over there, get on our free email list. You sign up for a free account. All we need is your name and your email address, and you'll be getting a free pick straight to your inbox every single day. And you will also occasionally be getting free pick parlays. You'll be getting information on niche sports like golf, NASCAR, horse racing, you name it. We've had it in there before. We've got guys looking out for every single thing you could possibly bet on where we think there could be an edge. So definitely get over there, check that out. I think it's more than worth your time. Also, if you're a huge fan of what we're doing here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get exclusive early access to all of my videos and get their names up on screen just like you're seeing right now. But more importantly, you get access to our members only giveaways. We're going to be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie and or t-shirt here in May on May 20th. So yeah, in 15 days, if we can get up to 70 members, I think we're around 65 right now, we'll be doing 2 giveaways on that May 20th. So definitely get in there, check things out. I love sending out that free merch to people. Feels great. So let's go ahead, hop back into the games here, guys. And next up, we're looking at the Philadelphia Phillies going on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, the Phillies at 19-15 have turned things around. They just won 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks, so that's a very good look. They're hitting the ball to Zach Wheeler, who's 2-1 on the season, a 3.48 ERA. It falls a little bit below the incredible standard he set for himself last year, but he's been throwing the ball a little bit better. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of his last 3 starts, and the Phillies are 2-1 in those starts, and the only loss was in extra innings. Now, he's given up exactly 1 home run in each of his last 5 starts. That's not really what we expect to see Zach Wheeler doing on a nightly basis. So we'll see if he can get completely right out there, but we've liked what we've seen recently. Now that Phillies bullpen, that's a huge problem. That's a huge concern. They're still 6th worst in the majors, a 4.71 bullpen ERA. The offense clearly figuring stuff out a little bit. 9, 7, 3, 2, and 7 runs over their last few. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, they've got some pretty big bats out there. That's just to mention a couple of them. They're up to 13th in the majors in runs scored, and when you're 4th in on-base percentage and 8th in batting average, you can expect to see those run scored numbers continue to go up. So Expecting good stuff in general from the Phillies here as they go on the road to take on the Tampa Bay Rays, who are 16-18 on the season. They just won 2 out of 3 there at Yankee Stadium, so I'm sure that has them riding high. They're handing the ball to my red beard brother, Drew Rasmussen. He's 1-2 this season, a 2.64 ERA. Now, his last couple of starts have not really filled me with optimism. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and a home run against Arizona, and 5 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, and a home run against the Royals. Not exactly what I would term as premium level starts. So we'll see what he does out there against the Phillies. We'll see if that Tampa Bay bullpen can continue to be so good. They're currently, 5th, 6th, something like that in the majors, a 2.97 bullpen ERA. Clearly elite stuff there. The offense is starting to find its way a little bit too. 7, 3, 0, 2, and 0 runs over the last few games, but that's 7 and 3 in those last 2 games against the Yankees. Is a better look for sure. They've got a few guys hitting the ball okay, I suppose. Nobody that's really lighting the world on fire except for maybe Arenado, but they're 21st in the majors in runs scored despite being 15th in batting average and 17th in on-base percentage. I think they'll find a way to score a few more runs this season, but they're not going to be an elite offense. So looking at the numbers here, the Phillies at -122, the Rays at +108. We've got a total of 8 out there. The Phillies are only 6-9 on the road, 18-16 to the under. Tampa Bay 9-13 at home, which you guys all know they're not really at home this season, and 19-13-2 to the under. I'm not in love with under 8 in this game, but I could see why you would want to take it. I'm also not really in love with the side here, but I'm going to be leaning towards the Phillies at -122. And the more I think about Zach Wheeler being out on the mound, getting better and better, and going up against a pretty mediocre offense, the more the Phillies at -122 is starting to make some sense. Now, I do worry about their bullpen, don't get me wrong, but the offense has been a little bit better, and the Rays are in a bit of a letdown spot after winning 2 in a row against the Yankees. So give me the Phillies here at -122, and with Zach Wheeler on the mound, it has to be taken seriously. Next up, guys, we got the team that should have been our dog of the day yesterday. We got the San Diego Padres going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. I'm a dummy for taking the Reds instead of the Padres as our dog of the day, but maybe some of you heard me debating between the two and jumped on the Padres. Let me know in the comments if you did. That'll make me feel a little bit better. But the Padres come into this game playing great. They've now won 6 in a row, winning game 1 there of this series 4-3. So very close. Machado, Gardis both helping with that 8th inning rally there to come up with that run and help them win that, or that 2-run double, to help them win that game. So very solid stuff from the Padres, who are 23-11 on the year, and handing the ball to Michael King I'm sure feels great. He's 4-1 this season, a 2.09 ERA, fresh off a great start there against the Giants. 5 2/3 innings, only a single earned run allowed, struck out 6, walked 1, and it was a 5-3 win there for the Padres. He hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his last 4 starts. He's been throwing the ball really well. There's no way around it. He's looked great. And so is the Padres bullpen. They've been the best bullpen in Major League Baseball by nearly a full run in ERA. So very good stuff there. And we're loving what we're seeing from the offense. I guess it hasn't been dominant the last couple days. 4, 4, 2, 9, and 5 runs over the last few. Tatis in a little bit of a stump. But yeah, Merrill set to make his return in this game. That certainly helps. The Padres are 18th in the majors in runs scored, but 3rd in batting average and 11th in on-base percentage. Makes me think we're going to see them score a lot more runs here coming up. So we'll see what they can do against the Yankees, who come into this game 19-16 on the year, but they've lost 3 out of their last 4. They're handing the ball to Clark Schmidt in this one, or at least that's the reported starter. He's 0-1, a 5.52 ERA. Not great. Now, his last start was good. It was against Toronto. 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run. It was a solo home run. He walked 4 and struck out 6. Control has been a bit of an issue. He has had bad outings at Cleveland. Not a great outing at home there against the Royals either. So we'll see what he does in this one. I'm not a starter that I'm super high on. The Yankees bullpen has been serviceable. A 3.25 bullpen ERA, definitely helpful, but not at the same level the Padres are at, that's for sure. Now, the Yankees offense has deserted them a little bit. They scored 3, 5, 2, 3, and 4 runs over their last few games. Aaron Judge, obviously, historically good to start the year. Really, really crazy. But aside from him, how thrilled are we with his offense? I know they're 2nd in the majors in runs scored and 2nd in team batting average, but recently the bats just have not been that lively. Now they got to go up against Michael King. Not exactly the easiest situation. So, looking at the numbers for this game, it's a coin flip according to the books. Several books have the Padres at -110. Several books have the Yankees at -110. We've got totals out there of 8 and 8.5. The Padres are 8-7 on the road, an above 500 road team. They're also a significant under team. The Yankees 11-7 at home and a slight under team. I could wrap my head around under 8.5 in this game, I suppose, but not a huge fan of that. I'm a much bigger fan here of the Padres at -110. With King on the mound, they're getting healthy out there. A lot of positives right now for San Diego, and I think there's a good chance they keep the Yankees slumping and take Game 2 of this series. Next up, guys, we got a team that very much annoyed us yesterday. We've got the Cincinnati Reds going on the road to take on the Atlanta Braves. Now, the Reds come into this game 18-18 on the year. Obviously, that broken forearm there for their left fielder. Pretty brutal stuff. Overall, a bad day. Losing 4-0. They're trying to bounce back by handing the ball to Andrew Abbott, who's 2-0 to start his year, a 2.84 ERA. His last outing dominated against the Cardinals. Only 4 innings pitched. 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 run. None of them were earned, and it was a 9-1 win there for the Reds. Now, he's about to get tested a little bit more here against Atlanta, but he's got good starts under his belt against the Cardinals, Orioles, and Pirates, so Atlanta probably doesn't scare him that much. The bullpen situation for the Reds has also been pretty solid this year. Maybe not dominant, but solid, so I'll give him some credit for that. And the offense is looking like a problem once again. I don't think that's too shocking, guys. They've scored 0, 1, 6, 6, and 9 runs over their last few games. This team's going to have some games where they really, really suck at the plate. And I don't know if this is going to be one of them, but it's definitely a possibility because they're going up against the Atlanta Braves, who've won 2 in a row. They're up to 16-18 on the year, and they're handing the ball to Chris Sale, who has not been himself here in the early goings. He's 1-3, a 4.84 ERA, but his last 4 starts, he's looked better and better. His last time out, probably his best start of the year. It was against the Rockies, but still, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. He did give up a home run, but also struck out 10 and walked 0. Now, he got no run support. The Rockies actually won that game 2-1, but Sale throwing the ball really, really well, and he's looked similarly good over his last couple. A very good start there at Arizona, for example. So pitching at home in this one, you definitely have to like Sale's chances out there on the mound. The Atlanta bullpen, while not a complete disaster, a 3.85 bullpen ERA, not as good as what we saw from them last season. Obviously missing a starter for this game, obviously, and for who knows how long, isn't helpful. Austin Riley's been hitting the cover off the ball, though. That certainly helps. The Braves 17th in the majors in runs scored, 12th in slugging percentage, and 13th in on-base percentage. So maybe we could expect a little bit of an offensive bump for this team at some point. So looking at the numbers here, the Reds are plus 185. The Braves are minus 225. We've got a total of 8. Cincinnati 9-8 on the road, 19-16-1 to the under. Atlanta 10-5 at home, 16-15-3 to the under. I'm not really too interested in under 8. It's a pretty small number, but I guess you could talk me into it given the 2 teams and the 2 starters that we have on the mound. But I'm looking at the Atlanta Braves at minus 225 with a very reasonable spot to be our lock of the day. They're a little bit offensively challenged. That makes things a little bit scary. And Andrew Abbott has been good, but I still think the Braves with Sale on the mound are the side you want to be on. Rolling right along here, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles going on the road to take on the Minnesota Twins. The Orioles at 13-20 on the year and losers over the last 2 in a row against the Royals. Probably not riding super high right now. They're handing the ball to Cade Povich, someone else who's probably not riding super high. He's 1-2 on the year, a 5.16 ERA. Not exactly what you're hoping for if you're an Orioles fan. His last start, they did at least get the win over the Yankees in that game, but he went 4 2/3 innings, gave up 3 hits, 3 earned runs, and 2 home runs while walking 3 and striking out 2. Not exactly a banner day for this young starter, and the Orioles bullpen, similarly bad, a 5.08 bullpen ERA, has them 3rd worst in the majors, and the offense for the squad has disappeared, guys. I mean, they scored 6, 0, 3, 4, and 3 runs over their last few. Yeah, that's not exactly great. Gunnar Henderson leading the way, batting .260, slugging .433. They're 15th in the majors in slugging percentage, 26th in batting average, and 23rd in runs scored. This is not the Orioles of last season. Absolutely not. So we'll see what they do against the Twins here, who come into this game getting healthy. We see Lewis and Castro coming off the injured list. They just won 2 out of 3 there at Fenway. A couple of one-run games, but they will certainly take it. Now, looking at the starter here for the Twins, they've got Pablo Lopez on the mound. He's 2-2 on the year, a 2.25 ERA. He's looked good, very good actually, over his last 5 starts. Never allowing more than 2 earned runs. That's pretty nice. Having some very good starts out there and not getting a ton of run support, which is something you always have to worry about. For the Minnesota Twins, at least so far this season, it's been a little bit tough. But Pablo Lopez definitely looking good. The Twins bullpen also looking serviceable, maybe not elite, but serviceable. And the offense should be getting a boost here with these starters coming back. I mean, they've scored 5, 4, 1, 3, and 2 runs over their last few. Not exactly ideal. Now, they're 18th in the majors in runs scored, but far worse than that in most of the other big major offensive numbers. So we'll see what they do in this one. They're minus 160. The Orioles are plus 135. Got a total of 8.5. Baltimore's only 5-11 on the road. They're a 500 over/under team. Minnesota 9-6 at home. They are 20, 12, and 3 to the under. You could take under 8.5 in this game. I don't think that's crazy. I don't necessarily love that because of Povich and that terrible bullpen there for the Orioles, but really, guys, I think this is a good spot to take the Twins at minus 160. It's a little bit expensive, so it may not make it into the pinned comment, but Baltimore's just so bad right now. The Twins are getting healthy. Pablo Lopez has been very good, so the Twins, even as a big favorite, seems like a reasonable spot. Next, guys, we're going to be looking at the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Kansas City Royals. The White Sox took the 3-0 loss in Game 1 of this series. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Sean Burke, hoping he can, I don't know what the White Sox even hope for anymore, but they're 2-4 he's 2-4 on the year, a 4.91 ERA. His last start was his best of the year by a significant margin. He shut down the Milwaukee Brewers, 6 innings, 2 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 5 and walked 3 in an embarrassing game there for the Brewers, no doubt about that. The White Sox bullpen has not been great this year, but also hasn't been the complete dumpster fire they were a year ago, but a 4.44 bullpen ERA is certainly bad. The offense, also certainly bad, obviously getting shut out in Game 1 of this series. They're 28th in the majors in batting average. They're dead last in slugging percentage, and Benintendi, not being out there with that calf strain certainly does not help. So we'll see what they do here against the Royals, who come into this game winners of 6 of their last 7. They're 20-16 on the year, handing the ball to Seth Lugo, who's 3-3 this season, a 3.07 ERA, but he's been pitching pretty well his last couple of times out. I mean, shut out the Astros over 8 innings of very, very good work there. And then against Tampa Bay, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs his last time out there. And it was an 8-2 win there for the Royals as well. So I think you have to feel pretty freaking good with Lugo on the mound at this point. Now, he's had his ups and downs this year, but seems like he's got things figured out. Speaking of things that are figured out, that Royals bullpen, 4th best in the majors, a 2.88 bullpen ERA, very impressive. And the offense is coming along, 3-11 and 4 runs over their last few. Bobby Witt Jr. doing his thing, Maikel Garcia doing his thing. This team, guys, 25th in the majors in runs scored, but I think that's a number that's going to get better and better. So looking at the numbers here, the White Sox are plus 185. The Royals are minus 225. We've got a total out there of 8.5. The White Sox, 3-14 on the road. 3-14, 17-16-2 to the over. We see Kansas City 12-5 at home, a very good road team. It looks like once again they are 23-12-1 to the under. Under 8.5 may be live in this game, but I'm not too interested in that. I'm definitely interested here in the Royals at minus 225 as a potential lock of the day. Lugo's been looking really good. The Royals offense is figuring itself out, and their bullpen is elite. The Royals have a great chance to win this game here, especially playing at home against the White Sox. Next on the docket, guys, we got the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, the Astros not having a great season, 17-17 on the year. They're 1-4 over their last 5 games. Handing the ball in this game to Hayden Wesneski, who's 1-2 this season, a 3.86 ERA. And to be honest, he's been pretty good out there. He hasn't given up any more than 3 earned runs over any of his last 5 starts. He just faced the Royals, 5 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. It's not a dominant performance necessarily, but he kept him in the game. And yeah, he got 0 runs of support. They lost that game 2-0. Now the Astros bullpen, also very, very good. 5th best in the majors. But the offense is so bad, guys. 1, 4, 8, 3, 4, and 6 runs over their last few games. It's actually been looking up just a bit recently, but they're still 20th in the majors in runs scored and 21st in slugging percentage, with nobody off to a particularly good start. So we'll see what they do here against the Brewers, who just won Game 1 of this series 5-1. So congratulations on that. Yelich hitting a home run, Myers taking a step forward there. All good things there for the Brewers. They're going to be hitting the ball to Chad Patrick in this game, who's 1-3, but a 2.87 ERA. His last outing was at the White Sox, and it was not good. He was on the wrong side of that 8-0 loss. 5 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs against the White Sox. Not what you want to be doing, but he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of his other 4 starts. So definitely room for optimism here about Chad Patrick. Now, the bullpen situation there for Milwaukee, a 4.75 bullpen ERA, not going to get the job done. They're 25th in the majors there. And the offense, while they have scored 5 and 4 runs over their last few games, I mean, they're 10th in the majors in runs scored, but 26th in slugging percentage and 19th in batting average. Like, how much longer are they going to keep scoring these runs? So we'll see what happens there. The Astros are minus 105. The Brewers are minus 115. We've got a total of 8. Houston, 6-10 on the road, 17-15-2 to the under. Milwaukee, 11-6 at home, 19-14-3 to the under. I'm going to shade here just a bit towards the Milwaukee Brewers at home. I don't have too much conviction in this play, to be completely honest. Now, I don't mind fading Wesneski, but I don't necessarily love it. I do not like backing the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen, so maybe you take the Brewers in the first 5, but really, guys, this isn't a play that I think has tons of value. Next up, we've got the San Francisco Giants going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. The Giants lost game 1 of the series at Wrigley 9-2. Not a great look there. The Giants pretty sloppy and disorganized out there in that one, if I'm being honest. Now, in game 2, they're going to be hitting the ball to Justin Verlander. He's 0-2 on the season, a 4.38 ERA. Now, his last start, very good against the Rockies. I mean, at least very solid. 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs. He gave up a home run, but struck out 4. Kept his team in the game. They eventually lose 4-3, though. Poor guy can't get any runs for it these days. I would say his last 3 starts have all been excellent, albeit against some pretty mediocre clubs. So we'll see what he can do here against a much better offensive team in the Chicago Cubs. The Giants' bullpen obviously has not been a problem. Part of their success this year, a 2.51 bullpen ERA, is second best in the majors. And the offense has generally been very good too. I mean, 2, 9, 6, and 4 runs over their last few games. Now, they're 11th in the majors in runs scored, but 24th in batting average and 20th in on-base percentage. So maybe we could see some regression there. We'll see how that goes here against the Cubs, who are 22-14 on the year. They've won 4 out of their last 5. They're hitting the ball to Colin Ray, who's sporting a 1.46 ERA. He's going to be making his 5th straight start here, and he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs over any of those starts, in spanning outings against the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Phillies, and Pirates. And we also noticed that the Cubs are 4-0 in those starts, guys. 4-0. So we'll see how things go in this one. That Cubs bullpen hasn't been great, don't get me wrong, but they're getting better and better. A 4.37 bullpen ERA is improving. The offense has been one of the best in the majors. So they scored 9, 0, 6, and 10 runs over their last few games. They're currently first in the majors in runs scored. They are first in the majors in team batting average. They're third in on-base percentage, getting on base at a 339 clip. And they're the third best slugging percentage team in the majors. Now, Imanaga going down with that hamstring strain, obviously not great, but that shouldn't affect them too much in this game. And looking at the numbers, the Giants are plus 125. The Cubs are minus 145. Got a total of 8. The Giants are 10-9 on the road, 21-14-1 to the over. The Cubs 10-5 at home, 21-13-2 to the over. I could certainly wrap my head around over 8 in this game. I think the Cubs are going to score a bunch of runs, and that's why I like the Cubs here at minus 145 quite a bit. Verlander's a cool story, but I don't think that story is going to – the story's going to have a bump in the road in this start, because I think the Cubs are going to mash them up, score a bunch of runs, and you could even interest me in the Cubs at minus 1.5 in this game if I'm being honest. Rolling right along, guys, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. The Pirates floundering right now. They're up to 5 straight losses. They've actually lost 8 out of their last 9. They're going to be hitting the ball to Paul Skeens, hoping he can turn things around for him. He's 3-3 this year, a 2.74 ERA after getting knocked around a little bit there by the Cubs. Not his best start, and now he's got to go against the Cardinals again, a team that knocked him around also. 6 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs in that one. So we'll see what Skeens does out there. Obviously, electric stuff, a monster out there, but this isn't historically the best matchup for him. So, like I said, we'll see what he can do, see if that bullpen helps him at all. They've been bad. A 4.26 bullpen ERA. Not bottom of the barrel, but not top of the barrel either, I'll tell you what. So we'll see what goes on there. The hitting situation for the Pirates keeps deteriorating. They're 28th in the majors in runs scored, 29th in slugging percentage, 23rd in on-base percentage, but this is just a flat-out bad offensive team. So we'll see if they can get going against the Cardinals, who are 17-19 on the year. They're handing the ball to Matthew Liberatore. The Cardinals have won 3 in a row, and Liberatore's last time out didn't look too good. It was a weirdly short start there. I think it was weather shortened, if I remember correctly. He's 2-3 on the season, a 3.44 ERA. His last start was against the Reds. Like I said, it was a short one. His start for that was very good against Milwaukee, and in general, he's been good this season. He did have a start against the Pirates earlier this year, though, where he did not look good. 6 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 5 earned runs allowed, and gave up a home run. It was eventually an 8-4 loss there for the Cardinals. So a concerning matchup for him. Obviously, the Cardinals' bullpen has been a problem this season. A 4.37 bullpen ERA, slightly worse there than the Pirates. Now, the offense for the Cardinals has been good. 6, 5, 6, 3, and 1 run over their last few games. Brendan Donovan hitting the ball well. Wilson Contreras doing some good stuff. He had a home run the other day. Or yesterday hit a home run, 12th in the majors in runs scored, 4th in batting average, 7th in on-base percentage. So plenty of stuff to like here about the Cardinals, but also a lot of stuff to like about Skeens every time he takes the mound. So this is a bit of a weird spot. Both pitchers have struggled against this opponent. The Pirates 5-12 on the road, 18-17-1 to the under. The Cardinals 13-6 at home, 21-13-2 to the over. I would lean more towards the over than the under in this game, that's for sure. We've got a total of 7 out there, so the over makes sense. Am I interested in either side? Do I want to take the Pirates at minus 135 or the Cardinals at plus 115? Neither one of those is really appealing to me, guys. Just give me a little look at that over 7, and let's watch and see what's going to happen in this game. Rolling right along, we've got the Detroit Tigers going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. Now, the Tigers just won 3 out of 4 there at the Angels. They're going to be handing the ball in this game to Jackson Jobe, hoping he can improve on their 22-13 record. Jobe comes into this game, he's been great this season. 2-0, a 3.38 ERA, and for a 22-year-old, that's pretty good. His consistency has been decent, not necessarily dominant. His last start wasn't great against Houston, but he got tons of run support. Eventually, a game that we saw the Tigers win 7-4. He went 4 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits, including a home run. Didn't seem like he had his best control, so we'll see what he can do here against the Rockies. Obviously not the toughest team to face. Now, the bullpen situation for the Tigers has been excellent all year long. They're third best in the majors, and the offense has found new life. 13, 2, 9, and 10 runs over the last few games. Kerry Carpenter, Spencer Torkelson, all hitting the ball well. They're tied for 4th most runs scored in the majors. They're the 5th best batting average team. This team can hit it, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon here. They're going on the road to take on the Rockies, who have just lost 3 out of 4 against the Giants, losing their last 3 in a row. They're hitting the ball in this one to Chase Dollander, who's, had a hand issue, a broken fingernail apparently, but this young 23-year-old, not up to an amazing start. 2-3 on the year, a 6.48 ERA. Now, he did have a very good start against the Atlanta Braves in his last time out. 5 2/3 innings, 2 hits, only a single run allowed, and it was a game we saw the Rockies win 2-1. So credit where credit is due, but I don't see him having as good of a time here against the Detroit Tigers. And the bullpen situation for Colorado, normally that would be something like, the Rockies bullpen is so bad, we're going to be fine. But a 3.88 bullpen ERA is certainly not the end of the world. So got to give the Rockies credit for improving at least in that aspect. But what they have not improved on is their offense, which is one of the worst, if not the actual worst in the majors. They're last in runs scored, last in batting average, second to last in on-base percentage, and third to last at slugging percentage. Nobody really impresses me out there too much. Hunter Goodman, sure, 274 average, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. Not terrible, but if that's your leading hitter at this point in the year, things probably aren't going the best. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Tigers are minus 175, the Rockies are plus 145. We've got a total of 9.5. Detroit 9-10 on the road, 17, 16, and 2 to the under. Colorado only 4-11 at home. That's an MLB worst home mark, and they are a big under team, 22, 11, and 1 to the under. First up, guys, I could certainly wrap my head around under 9.5 in this spot. Neither starter is a disaster right now, and that's a lot of runs, but I think we just want to go ahead and back the Tigers here at minus 175. Jobe on the mound's been so good. The Rockies have been so bad at home and bad in general. I know their bullpen's decent, but I just don't trust them, so give me the Tigers here as a small lean. Next up, guys, looking at the New York Mets going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Mets come into this game 22-13 on the season. Now, they're actually playing right now in game 1 of this series with the Mets leading 5-4 in the top of the 8th inning. So getting pretty deep there. We'll see who eventually comes away with that win. The Mets could certainly use it, having lost 2 out of 3 there against the Cardinals. They're going to be hitting the ball here in game 2 of this series to David Peterson, who's 2-1, a 3.06 ERA, and he's coming off of a start there against the Diamondbacks where he was very good. 5 innings, 5 hits, only a single earned run allowed, walked 0, struck out 2 in an 8-3 win. So very good stuff there, and he hasn't given up a home run over any of his last 5 starts. Also hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs over any of those starts. So feeling pretty good about David Peterson. Obviously feeling great about that Mets bullpen, a 3.07 bullpen ERA. Definitely top, 6, 7, 8, something like that in the majors. And the offense has been spluttering a little bit. Now, Pete Alonso off to an amazing start, batting nearly 350 with 8 home runs. But as a team, right now, it's just not looking as good. They're 10th in the majors in batting average. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored. They're getting on base at a 333 clip. All these numbers look good, but 4, 5, 9, 2, and 3 runs over their last few, maybe not ideal. So we'll see if they can get going in this one against the Diamondbacks, who come into this game hoping they can make a late inning rally there. They won 1 out of 3 against the Phillies in the series before this. They're hitting the ball to Zach Gallen, who's 2-4 on the year, a 4.93 ERA. Now, his last start, dominant stuff against these very same Mets. 6 innings, 2 hits, only a single earned run allowed. That was a 4-2 win there for the Diamondbacks. So love Zach Gallen. Do not, however, love that Arizona bullpen. They're sitting with a 4.50 bullpen ERA, has them bottom 8 in the majors, or maybe bottom 7. A pretty bad bullpen. So that's a big concern. And the offense, it's been good this year. Maybe not quite as dominant as last season, but still top 6 in runs scored, 4th in slugging percentage. This is not a team you are excited to face if you're on the mound. So looking at the numbers, the Mets are minus 105. The Diamondbacks are minus 115. We've got a total of 9. The Mets are 9-10 on the road, 20, 14, and 1 to the under. Arizona 8-8 at home, 16, 14, and 4 to the over. Given what I'm seeing here in their current game, I'm not going to get involved in that total, but I do think there's some reason to look at the Diamondbacks at -115. I would say Zach Gallen has a little bit more favorable history here, but not enough to really go off of in this one, and I'm going to be, generally speaking, staying away. In our last MLB game of the slate before we hop over and look at those NBA games, guys, we've got the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the Sacramento Athletics. Now, these two teams are currently playing in the bottom of the 8th with 2 outs and nobody on, so that does mean that despite the odds right now, our play on the under in that game at under 9.5 is still live. We just need no more runs to be scored here in the last, inning and a half, not even inning and a half. So yeah, if we can squeak that one out, that would be quite the win, quite the sweater. So we'll see what happens. Now the Mariners at 20-13 on the year have to be very happy. They're handing the ball to Emerson Hancock, who's 1-1 this season, a 6.62 ERA. He's probably not super stoked, although his last 3 starts have been serviceable. He gave up 9 hits and 3 earned runs against the Angels. That's not a good look. Not a good look. So we'll see if he can bounce back, see if that Seattle bullpen can keep doing its thing. It's been solid this year. Not necessarily a dominant one, but solid. A 3.66 bullpen ERA will work. The crazy thing for this Mariners team this year has been their offense. Cal Raleigh leading maybe the league right now with 12 home runs. I can't remember if he's first in the majors right now, but yeah, very dominant stuff. Over the course of the year, this team is 8th in runs scored, 2nd in on-base percentage, and 8th in slugging percentage. Like, all of a sudden, Seattle is a team that can actually hit the ball. So that's pretty helpful to be able to score some runs here. We'll see if they do that against the A's, who come into this game. We'll see what happens there in game 1. But they're 19-16 on the year, definitely better than many of us, especially, including me for sure, expected. Now, we see Jeffrey Spriggs taking the mound for them. He's 4-3, a 4.98 ERA. His last start was against the Rangers, and he dominated. Now, it was the Rangers, and that's been by far his best start of the year. He struggled against the White Sox, the Brewers, has not, generally speaking, had a good start to the year. Now, he did have a very good start against Seattle back on the 28th of March, so congrats on that. But that's been a little bit now. We'll see if he can do the same thing. It was very good. 6 innings, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts, no runs allowed, and a 7-0 win there for the Athletics. So, looking at the numbers, the Mariners are plus 100. The Athletics are minus 120. We've got a total of 9.5. Seattle's 8-7 on the road, 19-12 2 to the over. The Athletics 6-9 at home, 16-15 4 to the under. I once again like the under. Obviously, that under play is looking real sketch right now in game 1, so we'll see what happens there. But I think under 9.5 is live. In terms of a side, I am going to lean just slightly here towards the Athletics, but no major lead on the side here as we see our under go up in flames with, I think, a solo home run there in the bottom of the 8th inning. So crazy stuff there, guys. Crazy, crazy stuff. Pretty unfortunate. So we're going to be needing a bounce back here, and maybe the way to bounce back is to hop over and look at some of the NBA plays. Right now, guys, we're looking at our Nuggets pick at plus 9.5 coming through in quite the thriller, with Denver making a sizable comeback to eventually win that game by 2 points. Pretty crazy stuff. I was recording, so not watching the end of that game. Pretty nuts stuff there. We see Russell Westbrook. Did he come through for us on that rebound prop? No, he didn't. Only 2 rebounds. How does he only have 2 rebounds in 30 minutes? That's crazy for Westbrook. But we'll still take the win there on the Nuggets. Now, the game we're going to look at first on this slate here on Tuesday is the Indiana Pacers going on the road here in game 2 of their series to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the Pacers jumped out to a 1-0 series lead there with a pretty crazy game 1 win. They win that one 121-112 against the Cavaliers team that just couldn't throw it in the ocean from long range. Cleveland finishes that game up 9 of 38 from 3, but the Pacers just played amazing. Halliburton was great out there, 13 assists, 22 points for him. A very good day out there also for Nembhard. He had 23 points and shot the lights out from 3, and really everybody on the Pacers shot the ball way above expectations. So I think the Cavaliers can take some solace in that fact, but overall, it's got to feel a little bit rough. Probably not exactly what the Cavaliers were expecting, but overall, got to give the Pacers tons of credit. They played amazing in this game, and despite the difference that you would think you would have, they kept things even on the boards. Now, no Garland for that game either for the Cavaliers, so they're going to be hoping they can come into this one healthy. Now, the Pacers fully healthy coming into this game. There is some questions here surrounding Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and DeAndre Hunter there for the Cavaliers. Now, Garland obviously missing game 1. There's a chance he comes back here for game 2. We see Mobley on the injury report as well. Mobley currently dealing with that ankle issue. He's questionable. I'd be pretty surprised if he doesn't play. Apparently, Hunter with that thumb issue is fully questionable, and there's a real chance he doesn't play, and they could use him off the bench. They could certainly use him off the bench. I do generally expect Mobley to play. I generally expect Darius Garland to play. But if they're banged up, if they're not fully healthy, that could hurt the Cavaliers. Now, Donovan Mitchell played amazing in his 34 minutes, putting up 33 points. Mobley had 20 despite the ankle, but was a minus 20 out there. We did love what we saw from Ty Jerome. He cashed a player prop for us. Despite only being 8 of 28 from the field, he scored 21 points and was a plus 10 out there. Also had 8 assists. So, yeah, Ty Jerome definitely a big help out there for the Pacers or for the Cavaliers to try and keep up with the Pacers. But looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Cavaliers are 9.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 229.5. The Pacers 21-23 against the spread on the road. 47-39-2 to the over. Cleveland 23-20-1 against spread at home. 55-32 to the over. I'm once again, you could talk me into over 229.5 in this game. I think we'll see both teams, or not the Pacers, but we'll see the Cavaliers shoot the ball a little bit better. But I'm not too interested in the total. I'm once again interested in the side, and I'll take the Pacers at plus 9.5. Even if they play worse and Cleveland plays better, I don't think the Cavaliers are 10 points better. And if Cleveland really is this banged up, it could be pretty tough on them. So looking at the player props for this one, I've got a few that I like. I like Miles Turner here under 14.5 points. Had an awesome game in game one, but in his 33 minutes, he scored 13 points. I don't think we should expect the offensive numbers to get that much better in this series, at least not until it gets back to Indiana. I also like Miles Turner here over 6.5 rebounds. He had 11 boards in game one. While I think that will likely be less in game two, I think he comfortably gets around 8 to 9 boards in this game, and that's plenty for us to cash this player prop. And last but not least, I like Ty Jerome over 14.5 points. He had 21 points in 29 minutes in game one. Didn't shoot the ball well. I expected him to play less minutes and shoot the ball much more effectively here in game two. That's assuming that Garland comes back. If Garland doesn't come back, we could see him play a similar amount of minutes, and I'd take him over 16 if I knew Garland was out. So those are the props I like there on game one. Now let's hop over to our second NBA game of the night. We've got the Golden State Warriors going on the road here to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, the Warriors just had an insane 7-game series there against the Houston Rockets, and it was pretty nuts, guys. They win Game 7 comfortably, but it was not looking like a guarantee that Golden State was going to win that series at all. The Warriors do emerge technically healthy. Gary Payton was dealing with an illness, but he's ready to go. They are banged up, like Curry's definitely dealing with a pretty severe thumb issue, but overall, I think the Warriors are healthy coming into this game, but I also think they're probably exhausted. That was a very, very physical, at times football-like, especially when it comes to how players were allowed to hold and tackle Steph Curry off the ball, kind of series there for the Warriors. So they could be a little bit exhausted. Pretty quick turnaround there for Golden State. Now, they're taking on a Timberwolves team that polished off the Lakers in 5 games and have had some time to rest. We saw Anthony Edwards not be able to throw it in the ocean from 3 in that last game against the Lakers, but it didn't matter. The Timberwolves still win that game 103-96 with the most unlikely person in the world having a monster performance. Rudy Gobert, 27 points, 24 rebounds, a plus 18. Did not have Gobert putting up those kind of numbers on my bingo card ever. So Timberwolves overcome a 7 of 47 night from 3 to win the game. I think we could see them have a much better shooting night in this one. The Timberwolves also come into this game looking fully healthy. I believe. I don't think there's there's really no significant injury news there for the Timberwolves. Looking at the numbers, the Timberwolves are -7. We got a total of 208.5. The Warriors 25-18-2 against the spread on the road. So a very good road team. They're a 500 over/under team. Minnesota 19-23-1 against the spread at home. 46-41 to the over. I definitely think over 208.5 is live in this game. No doubt about that. But in terms of a side, I'm definitely taking the Timberwolves here at -7. There's no way around it. The Warriors are going to be exhausted. I know this is going to be a very public side, but I just don't see Steph and company being able to get up for this game. And, I think they'll want to. I think mentally they'll be up for it, but I just don't think they're going to have the legs here after such a crazy series there against the Rockets. This is game 1. It's in Minnesota. They've got plenty of chances to steal a game in Minnesota. Unless something weird happens, I just don't see the Warriors keeping things super close in this game. I also have a couple player props I like in this one. And first up, kind of a niche one. I like Nickeil Alexander-Walker over 5.5 points here. He had 10 points in 25 minutes against the Lakers there in game 5 and didn't even shoot the ball well. I think against the Warriors, even in bench minutes, he's going to find a way to get to 6 points pretty easily. And if this game gets out of control, which I think is definitely a possibility, he can get even more minutes. And I think that just, is going to make it easier and easier for him to get to those 6 points that we need. Last but not least, I like Anthony Edwards over 6.5 rebounds. He had 11 rebounds in game 5. He's going to be on one here going against Draymond. So I think we see him crashing the boards super aggressively, and no idea who the Warriors have who can even slow him down a little. So definitely think Edwards is going to get to the boards anytime he wants to, and I think he'll probably want to in this one. Getting to 7 rebounds for him doesn't seem crazy. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Get in the comments. Let me know anything you want to say about this video or anything you see here. Most importantly, get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. All they need is your name and your email address, and it's 100% free. Get on that newsletter. There's lots of free information there for you every single day. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out stumpthespread.com, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.